you get the opportunity to be on I Love Money, there's two things I want to talk about from you on I Love Money. I want to talk about when you and Saaphyri did that fake out. And y'all were like downstairs, like, girl, let's fall out, let's fall out. Until I think maybe they was gonna give her a shot or something. She was like, okay, no, I'm playing. That I want to talk about that moment, and I want to talk about the moment when you poured water on Myammee's hair. So let's start off with the Saaphyri moment, which is so fucking funny.
Honestly, and like I will be conceited when I say this because it is literally one of the best moments in reality fucking TV history. Like, I do not, that shit is fucking hilarious. Like, we plotted that shit, and like the thing is, the audience was in on the fucking joke. So you get to see it from like the fruition to the fucking falling out to when our plan gets totally fucked because they know that we're fucking around, and they actually bring in real paramedics with real fucking syringes that have God knows what the fuck in them because we're in Mexico, and in Mexico drugs are easy to get in Mexico. Let me just say that much. Like, you don't have to get a prescription. You could just go to the pharmacy and get whatever you need in Mexico. So shout out to the pharmacies in Mexico. Y'all are incredible. But I had no idea what was.
Dare I ask how you know?
I had no idea that was like what was in the syringe. The syringe was real as fuck, and I guarantee you they would have put it in her if she let them.
And then there's this moment where you and Myammee get into it, and you just walk up and pour water all over her, and she like mushes you back.
Yes.
And like I felt like the slowest motion mush I have ever seen in my life. It was like a grab face, push back. I'm still holding you 2 seconds later. What was that moment like, Miss Johnston?
All right. Well, like she had been saying the whole fucking season, like, oh, I can't get my hair wet. Like, okay, so you giving me the fucking ammunition already. You already told me what you can't deal with, what you can't hate. So I know what your trigger is. And it was just like, there's no other way I'm gonna win this argument that we're having right now. So like instantly in my head, I was like, oh, I know this bitch don't want her fucking hair wet. So I was just like, got the water bottle and did the one thing that I knew would fucking send her through the fucking roof. And like, I did deserve to get mushed in the face because I fucking did some shit that fucking, you gonna mush a bitch in the face after she do that shit. But what I didn't like about that is the producers was holding my hands back when she's mushing me in the face. So both of my hands are held behind my back. So all I could do is get mushed in the face. I can't even take her hand off of my fucking face because my hands are being held behind me, right? Like, how you just gonna let this girl smush on my face and not let me like do something? Like, fuck, like, I was mad about that because it's like, let me fight back. Why? Okay, just like you said, there's a no fucking touching policy. She won the show and she mushed me in my fucking face. Like, don't tell me there's not a no touching policy if there's a selective touching policy.
Yeah, because Larissa hit Laylene in charm school.
Okay.
And they kept Larissa.
Sure did. There's a selective touching policy, not a no touching policy.
How was I Love Money for you? You guys are in another country. It is a mashup of all the personalities from the brand. Was it a good experience for you?
I Love Money was so fun. It was in a beautiful mansion in Huatuco, Mexico, which was like never been there. That was crazy. Like the mansion was huge, beautiful. And then this was the first show that we got to do with other people that I hadn't met, and then men as well. So we got to be in the house with men for the first time, and that was exciting because it was like, hey, there's like different options to choose from here. There's like, it's fun to interact with men. Like we always interacted with women. Like it was fun to have men to interact with too. The physical challenges were hard. Like I'm not super athletic. Like if they asked me to do I Love Money now, it would have to be a I Love Money old people version. Like they would have to be geriatric games or something. Like we would have to play shuffleboard because that was very physical stuff that we had to do on that show. But the challenges were so cool. Like it's very rare that you get an opportunity to do some stuff like we did on those shows. Like when in your life you get to do challenges that are set up for you, like there's a boxing ring above the ocean 20, like never in your life are you going to get to do shit like that, or dig in a giant pile of mud to pick up coins. Like it's just shit that you will never do in your life. So it's so fun to do it. It's like, you know, you're living in a fucking game show, and that was just a good time. It was fun.
Any exclusive behind the scenes moments from I Love Money that we don't know about or did not get a chance to see?
Let's see. I mean, okay. So I don't know if I told this story or not, but Buddha got eliminated from I Love Money. And the reason he got eliminated was because before that episode, he had gotten in a fight with Saaphyri. And like he had put her hands on her. I think he had grabbed her. It was like physical. Like he put hands on her, not like hit her or something, but I think he grabbed her wrists or something like that. And she was pissed because, like, as she should be, like, this is a fucking giant ass man putting his hands on a woman, which he should not be. And mind you, this is a violent dude. If you saw I Love New York, you see Buddha fucking choke up Tailor Made, like crazy, right? So it's like he's putting his hands on Saaphyri, like he put his hands on Tailor Made. Like you have no control over your anger. So Saaphyri was pissed. I was pissed. They didn't send him home after that. Like he was still there. So we had a talk with the producers and we were like, look, we both gonna go. We're both out of here if you don't fucking take him off the fucking show, because this is some bullshit. Like absolutely no. And they were like, okay, calm down. Like, we'll see what we can do. We'll get back to you. So then they came back to us and they were like, okay, this is what we're going to do. We're going to split up the teams. And then the one person that doesn't get picked for a team is going to be eliminated. So they said, all you have to do is make sure that the girls vote Saaphyri as the head of the team. So she was the team captain or whatever that got to pick her team. So that's what made us be able to eliminate Buddha, basically, because we just they made her the team captain. I think Frank or 20 Pack was the other team captain and he was in our alliance. So we knew they weren't going to pick Buddha. So basically he got eliminated because of what he did to Saaphyri. It just don't look like that in the show.
Wow.
No, we stood up and we were like, look, you could have the fucking Buckwild and Saaphyri show or you can have the fucking Buddha show, but you have to pick, because we're not about to sit here and play these games with you letting you men put their hands on us. Like, no. If you're starting with that shit, it's only going to go farther. And actually, later on in that season, there's an episode where Tailor Made actually puts his hands around my neck and chokes me because I fucking threw his jeans on the floor. Like he literally lunges at me on a bed and chokes me with two of his fucking hands in front of everybody. And he didn't go home either. So like I said, again, there is selective violence allowed on the show.
Did you complain about that?
I mean, what like, I guess I didn't complain enough to get him sent home like I did for Buddha. But I will fight harder for my friends than I will for myself. Like, and also I didn't feel like Tailor Made could have actually killed me if he choked me, because I feel like I could take Tailor Made. If it had been Buddha, I might have felt a little different. But at the end of the day, Tailor Made is a psychopath. Like, he literally choked me in front of a room full of fucking people on video. Like, that is crazy.
That is crazy. But Tailor Made was a rich white man though, wasn't he?
He's still a rich white man, from what I know.
You know they don't give a fuck. Look at Donald Trump. They don't give a fuck. This is America. They do whatever the fuck they want to do.
I was definitely not the first woman he choked. I will tell you that.
Ooh. I know that's right. What is Tailor Made up to these days?
I don't know. He has a daughter, but that's all I know.
Oh, you go.